children of Adam, there could be war, Alan. Just stop this.
Are you that detective I've heard about?
This is a damn saboteur. Those condensers...
Who said I was a detective?
Mayor Avery said that someone new had arrived on the island, investigating a missing person. That must be you. I haven't been able to find any of the local police force. The louts. I don't want to start a panic, but, well, we may have a murder on our hands, and we need an outside set of eyes.
Where did the crime take place?
At the Cliff's Edge Hotel, just north of the town. Will you help us? There may still be a murderer at large.
Who's the victim?
Well, we want to keep this out of the tabloids, but it's Ezra Parker, the financier of the hotel. Will you help us solve this heinous crime?
Is this conversation on the clock?
I'm afraid that any further negotiations will have to be with my employers, though I'm sure they would be more than fair with you. Please, you must help us. Every moment we wait, our residents are at risk.
Who are your employers?
I'm not at liberty to give out my employer's personal information, but you will, of course, be meeting with them if you take the case. Will you help us solve this heinous crime?
Okay, I'll help.
Oh, thank goodness. Shall I guide you to the Cliff's Edge Hotel now?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's be off then. It's probably best Maxwell hasn't seen the state of the hotel. He would be devastated. I should warn you, some of the other hotel guests are a bit, rowdy. I was forced to defend myself when a few became a bit handsy, shall we say. The registered patrons are in a more exclusive area of the hotel, though, and do not associate with this sort of rabble. Shall we be off?
What do you mean the other patrons are rowdy?
I had not been in this part of the hotel for some time. Perhaps there is some sort of sporting event that has them agitated. Several of them tried to grab me and, well, their clothing was certainly not suitable for polite company. Shall we be off?
Yeah, let's go.
Very good. This way.
In my grave, the costly tombstone will I have. Just lay me down in my feet with a jug of much at my head and my They say rich folks ate their fancy dinners here, with people waiting on them hand and foot. Time to stop for a drink, yeah?
Got it.
All right, nice try. That all you got?
This elevator leads to the exclusive area of the hotel. You should feel quite privileged that they will be allowing you in.
Greetings! Welcome to Vault 118, your home away from home, underground. Are you the detective we sent for?
Yes, I'm the detective.
Thank goodness. Let me just open the door for you. Well, it's about time the police sent someone out to investigate. We have many important residents and they're very worried.
Let's talk about my compensation first.
Very well. Consider this a retainer. Have a look at the crime scene for clues. And when you're ready, we can discuss your findings. They're at the crime scene again. Don't they realize that they're going to disturb the evidence? You'd better come with me, detective.
What the hell do you think you're doing? This is a crime scene.
Do you not see
have outdone yourself.
Protect
This is
and
your
serve.
finest work. There is more emotion in his death than most have had
Well,
in their
now, how
entire
do you like to
lives.
eat?
I'm just saying that at least he had the decency to make a spectacle of it. There is nothing worse than
if I may.
That's
what this is to you.
No use.
I'm sorry for shouting, but the detective is arrived. Shall begin the investigation henceforth. Please return to your rooms until the detective has examined the crime scene and had a chance to come speak with you.
Broken.
The moves on my best girl.
But now the law is on our tail. What are we going to do?
Come away with me. Let's leave this dark hole of a city behind. Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
I found a love letter to Ezra in your room. Know anything about it?
I should have never written it. I just couldn't take it any longer.
Tell me about you and Ezra.
Oh, God, I don't know. When we first met him, he was just so mysterious and exciting. It seemed like he had been everywhere and done everything. I convinced Gilda that we should invest in the hotel so I could stay close to him. But he never seemed to realize how I felt. I mean, we spent time together. Going hunting, having drinks, talking about his plans for the hotel. He must have known, but he never said anything. Do you have any idea what it's like to pine for someone for 200 years, Detective?
What were you and Gilda talking about when I walked in?
Oh, we were just rehearsing a scene. Nothing to worry about.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
It's obviously Santiago. He keeps going back to look at the crime scene.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, as you probably know, I'm an actor. I don't like to brag about it, but my last picture, The Fighting Furies, it topped the box office.
Maybe later.
Okay. Just let me know how I can help.
Have a look at the crime scene for clues. And when you're ready, we can discuss your findings. You are free to question the residents, but their safety is our priority. So unless you have solid evidence,
As someone
I
else
would
felt the
avoid
same way about
accusations.
brains and machines as I do. That is to say, I ain't fond of the idea.
Is there anything else?
Your residents are robots.
Not robots, Detective. Well, not exactly, anyway. I believe the term they use is robo-brain. Back before the war, the residents decided the best way to wait it out was to put their brains inside robotic chassis. Was there anything else?
Tell me about the victim.
Mr. Ezra Parker was the primary owner and financier for the hotel. He had vast experience managing venture projects around the world. It was his idea to have our premier clients become investors in the vault section of the hotel. He worked with Vault Tech to have this built to their every specification. Was there anything else?
I'm not sure where I should start.
I suppose you should try to figure out how he died, and then who had the means and motive to kill him. Once you have enough evidence, then I suppose you'll need to confront the killer. Was there anything else?
Never mind.
I'll be here should you need me.
Is this blood? Looks like the brain enclosure was smashed.
Well. If it isn't the long arm of the law. Tell me, are you a devotee of the arts? Does that cruel muse call you to her entrapping bosom?
Art is life. Without it, we are no different than animals.
Perhaps. If all we are is a sentience floating in a suit of flesh, or metal, I suppose, then art is the only true communion with the world. Come with me. Tell me, what does this piece say to you?
It's about composition. The balance of colors and emotions and the struggle to maintain internal order.
Indeed. This was the last piece I did in a series of portraits of Gilda. Number 1378. Her emotional landscape is superimposed on the portrait. The reality of the subject is distorted as the ego attempts to project itself. This way. Tell me, what does this one say to you?
It looks like trees. In space! Maybe it's about the struggle to maintain life adrift in an empty void!
Oh, what a very literal interpretation. I asked what he communicated, not what the shapes on the canvas were. He must...
It's the war! Bombs from every direction. No up or down. The world turned on its head.
I suppose in a way it must be. Art shapes the world, and the world shapes art in return. All art must therefore be constantly reborn through the lens of contextual and historic interpretation. We must ascend.
It's cute, I guess. Some people like that kind of thing.
More than you would imagine. Truth be told, this is my best-selling piece. I did this series under a pseudonym, of course. This series has made more money than any of my serious works. And I did the whole thing as a lark. What does that tell you about the value of art to the common man, huh? Ah, my fellow connoisseur of the arts. Here to see my latest work?
I think you should explain why you keep returning to the crime scene.
It's for inspiration, detective. The others do not like to think about it, but even we shall die someday. Like Prometheus's torch, it kindles within me the fire to create as much art as I can with the time that I have.
It sounds like you've done a lot of paintings of Gilda. Why her?
Our Gilda is a very singular creature, detective. Do you not see the joie de vivre from within her? I have never met another who clings to life so tenaciously, who lives so in the moment. I must admit I was quite smitten with her for a time.
You're still in love with Gilda, aren't you?
So what if I am? What business is it of yours? She deserves someone who truly understands her ephemeral beauty, not that rote actor.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
The person you should be looking at is Juliana Riggs. That Philistine would not know art from her own excrement. She and Ezra had a rather dramatic fight recently. You could hear her banshee screeches all the way across the hotel.
What were Juliana and Ezra arguing about?
I don't know. I was painting at the time and I was trying to block it out. Though I bet Gilda probably heard them. Maybe you should check with her.
Tell me about yourself.
What is there to tell? I am one of the premier artists in the world. work is primarily in oil paint, but I have been known to do sculpture or performance art as well.
Maybe later.
Good. I hope my paintings are able to open your mind to new possibilities.
Isn't the brave
Not sure
detective?
what the point of building
I
this
haven't
was.
seen someone with a body like
Got
that
beaches
in
all over
far,
the island.
far too long.
Oh, you're not so bad yourself.
You should have seen me before all this. Red hair that was the envy of every girl and legs for days, darling. I'm sure you'd rather hear some of my stories from the silver screen rather than talk about that nasty murder business.
I must say, you're quite the actress.
What can I say? It just comes naturally. Care to hear some of my stories, detective?
You're done radio. Your voice is quite enchanting.
Well, darling, play your cards right, and maybe I'll whisper some sweet nothings in your ear. Surely you must be here for my salacious stories of the silver screen.
I must say, I've known flesh and blood girls who aren't half the woman you are.
Keep it up, Tiger, and we'll find out if you can handle how much woman I am. Care to hear some of my stories, detective?
Why don't we grab a bottle of wine and go watch the sunset?
Sounds good, detective. That was great, detective. But we probably shouldn't make a habit of this. Catch you later, Tiger. Hey there, Tiger. Here for more stories about my acting career, or something else?
I had some questions to ask.
Sure, darling. What did you need?
Apparently, Juliana had a big argument with Ezra a few days before he died. Did you happen to overhear any of the conversation?
Oh, yes. I haven't seen a woman go off like that since Teresa Dubois fired her costume designer. But to get back to your question, it was fever pitch, detective. She had apparently gone to the overseer's office to check on the state of things and found it in horrible disrepair. But, and this is where it gets interesting, it sounded like she found something that really set her off. Couldn't hear what, though. Did you need something else?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
Well, it is a bit strange how obsessed Santiago has been with the murder. I mean, he's always been a bit obsessive, though. He did a whole series of paintings of me, hundreds, said I was his muse. It was flattering for a while, but the man is a bit much, even for me. Did you need something else?
Tell me about yourself.
My favorite subject. Simply put, darling, I'm the greatest actress in the world. When this international scuffle blows over, I shall return to the silver screen and lead the world to a new golden age of cinema. Did you need something else?
I've gotten the impression you've had an affair with Santiago.
Look, I love Keith, I do. But sometimes he just can't give me the attention I need. A girl gets lonely, detective. It only lasted a few dozen years. The man's a bit much, even for me. Did you need something else?
You need to come clean about Keith and Ezra.
Look, Detective, I've known about Keith and Ezra for a long time. We're both movie stars. It's just part of the life. Why would I be mad? Did you need something else?
What were you and Keith talking about when I came in?
Oh, that? We were rehearsing. Gotta stay sharp if we're going to rebuild Hollywood. But Keith always gets flustered when he's upset. Did you need something else?
Maybe later.
I'll be around, languishing from your inattention.
Hello, Mr. Whiskers. Who's a pretty kitty?
Juliana, hello, Detective. Yes, of course. Did you need something?
I heard that Juliana and Ezra had an argument a few days before he was found dead. Tell me about that.
Well, I was in my lab at the time, so I didn't hear it. But Juliana has always been rather critical of Mr. Parker. I think she found something in the overseer's office. I wasn't listening when she told me about it. I kind of had my head in my research. I don't know, really. I try to let her handle all the money stuff. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
Oh, well, that's not really my field of expertise, but I'm sure there are probably some clues at the crime scene. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Tell me about yourself.
Oh, well, I'm a scientist. You've probably met my wife, Juliana, already. I'm not sure what else to say, really. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Tell me about your research.
Well, I was one of the leads on the team that created the first robo-brains, the precursors to our model. Most people don't find it all that interesting, and I'd rather not bore you. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
I'd like to hear more about your research.
Oh, wonderful. No one else here really wants to talk about it. Functionally, this model is more or less the same as the previous versions I worked on, but without the neural inhibitor and the reconditioning. The voice modulator seems to have some minor issues interfacing with the neural matrix, which can add some moodiness. But that's easily solved with regular tune-ups. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
I'd like to hear more about your research.
I'm afraid that's really all I should say about it. I mean, it is still classified, but I wanted to help with the investigation. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Robo-brains have a voice modulator? Tell me about that.
That's what allows us to recreate our original voices. They can mimic any normal human voice, actually. I've speculated for some time that the issues we had with our recruited subjects is due to the brain attempting to preserve a sense of self. Maintaining our original voices helps reinforce the neural network, sort of like playing music for an Alzheimer patient. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Maybe later.
Very well. I'll just get back to my work then. Just let me have a look at the neural interface matrix, and I'm sure I can clear that,
No, it's not that. I've just caught another goal. Probably something that got in when they sent Pearl out.
Oh, God. Not this again. Last month you were convinced you had the music.
Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
I heard you had a big fight with Ezra a few days ago. Care to explain?
Oh, well, it wasn't that big a deal, really. He wanted more money to pay for repairs on the hotel. I wasn't feeling well that day and lashed out a bit at the poor man. I really should have listened to him more.
What's with all the junk in here?
These are our things. We're just waiting till the war blows over so we can bring them back to the mansion.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
If you ask me, it's one of those actors. Or that horrible painter. Their type is always the cause of violence.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm Juliana Riggs, heiress to the Riggs fortune and wife of Bert Riggs. I'm not sure what else you expected, Detective.
Never mind.
Good luck catching the murderer, Detective. You're not a doctor. What would you... Hello, Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
Hello again, Detective. Was there anything else?
The door to the overseer's office is locked.
Oh, yes. Mr. Parker locked it a while back, after finding out that one of the other residents had been inside. Said it wasn't safe. If the key isn't on him, it's probably in Mr. Parker's room. Was there anything else?
Welcome to the Vault 118 gift shop. Looking for a gift to bring back to that special someone?
Did you have any thoughts on the case?
I'm afraid not, Detective. We're really at a loss, which is why I was sent to find you. Forgot a personal item at home.
What have you got?
Keepsakes, hunting equipment, and a variety of small personal items. Need to restock on hunting or fishing supplies?
Let's see what you have.
All of our items have that rusting.
There we go.
Progress on construction.
Sounds like Ezra was embezzling.
Progress on construction of the second wing of the vault is completely stalled. Once the premier area of the vault had been completed, funding seems to have been cut off. My supervisors have informed me that they haven't received payment from Mr. Parker, and Vault-Tec won't pay out of pocket to continue construction. I've repeatedly approached Ezra about the finances, but he keeps telling me that Mrs. Riggs hasn't transferred the funds. However, when I asked her, Juliana said that she had just given Ezra extra for the gold paint in the rooms. I've hired an investigator to look for signs of embezzlement in a few weeks.
Red paint?
Hello again. Did you need something?
Have you noticed Juliana acting strangely lately?
Oh, well, that's not really my field of expertise, but I'm sure there are probably some clues at the crime scene. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Perfect. A baseball bat? Huh. What's this doing here?
Hello again, Detective. Was there anything else?
That's not blood around the body. It's red paint.
Mr. Santiago would definitely have red paint. But surely he wouldn't have... Would he? This is just terrible, Detective. Was there anything else?
I found the murder weapon.
Oh no. That's the bat from Mr. McKinney's movie. You don't think he could be involved, do you? I can't imagine him ever doing such a thing. Was there anything else?
Never mind.
I'll be here should you need me.
Protect and serve.
Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
Tell me about yourself.
We went over this before, Detective. There's no motive.
Maybe you can give me a reason it couldn't be you.
I would never harm Ezra, Detective. I was in love with him.
I found your baseball bat at the crime scene. Care to explain how it got there?
Someone is clearly trying to frame me for the murder. It's probably Santiago. You saw him skulking around the crime scene.
Never mind.
Okay. Just let me know how I can help.
My fellow connoisseur of the arts, here to see my latest work.
I think you're the murderer. You used Keith's bat to frame him and left a trail of paint so we would find it.
Oh, and what motive would I have to kill our dear Ezra?
You're still in love with Gilda, and you wanted Keith out of the picture.
Just like my critics, always willing to paint passion as madness. I see you have made up your mind. I am not going down without a fight.
I got your back. It's time for it. I'm too damn
Attention. This is now a combat zone. You may cross up to and including...
I found the killer. It was Santiago.
That's just terrible. I can't believe it. And after all this time. Thank you for your assistance, Detective. The residents pooled this to pay for your services.
We can always sell what we can't use ourselves.